all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Hi guys, good morning. This is the daily morning update from Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 19th of November. Now, if you've been following Bloomberg Quint, the date today will have struck a chord. It's been talked about for some time now. Today is the RBI board meeting where tensions between the government and the RBI are expected to come to a head. Among the several points on the agenda are the transfer of surplus reserves to the government and an easing of the prompt corrective action guidelines. Do stay tuned over the course of the day for all the live updates and analysis. Niti Aayog Vice Chairman has said that the centre should stick to its fiscal deficit target for 2018-19 and continue with the reforms undertaken during the over 4 years of the Modi-led government. Talking about the markets, if the month of October was categorized by capital outflows on account of selling by foreign investors, November has seen the opposite. A reduction in the price of crude, a recovery in the rupee and an improvement in the liquidity situation have seemingly given these investors something to think about. They've pumped in nearly 8,300 crore rupees into the capital market so far this month. Now, the BSE has decided to snap ties with S&P Dow Jones, which manages and operates the benchmark Sensex, and plans to develop indices through its own in-house development team. That's a PTI story. State Bank of India has sought clarity from the Reserve Bank of India for an alternative to using Aadhaar authentication as its one-stop solution platform YONO for accessing all banking services digitally remains suspended following the Supreme Court's order on Aadhaar. Remember, the Supreme Court had said that it was not mandatory to furnish an Aadhaar number in order to avail banking services. The Comptroller and Auditor General of India is conducting a performance audit of the goods and services tax, and it is likely to finalize this report soon. In fact, the report could be tabled in Parliament as early as in the forthcoming winter session that begins in December. In international news, US Vice President Mike Pence sharpened attacks on China during a week of summits that ended on Sunday. Most notable was his call for other nations to avoid loans that would leave them indebted to Beijing. He said the US wasn't in a rush to end the trade war and would not change course until China changes its ways. The Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit ended in disarray on Sunday after leaders failed to agree on a joint statement reflecting tensions after Trump threatened to add to tariffs already in place on $250 billion worth of Chinese goods. In international markets on Friday, US stocks ended mixed with the S&P 500 and Dow gaining about 0.2% and 0.5% respectively. The Nasdaq declined a little less than 0.2% as tech shares remain under pressure. Asian risers too are searching for direction this morning. The Nikkei and the Kospi were trading with marginal gains while the Australian benchmark was trading lower by 0.5% last I checked. With that, it's now over to Darshan Mehta for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning Darshan, how's it looking at the start of the week?
Hi Alex, good morning everyone. The cues somehow seem pretty decent. The SGX Nifty is indicating a positive outlook. Crude is up for the fourth straight session and base metal surge on the LME, especially lead, which was up almost 4%. Even the metals in Shanghai are trading with a positive bias. Two companies that came out with numbers over the weekend, Siemens and Seshashahi Paper, both of them came out with strong set of numbers. Tata Sons has said that the discussion regarding Jet Airways acquisition are at a preliminary stage and no proposal has been made. Deepak Nitrite clarifies that the search operations are being carried out by the Income Tax Department at the company. Vodafone India clarifies that the company has not considered any proposal to sell fiber assets to Bharti Infratel and the news is incorrect. Dr. Reddy says that they have received zero observations in the audit of the formulation plant at the Srikakulam SEZ in Andhra Pradesh by the US FDA. Tata Investment Corp Board approves the buyback of 45 lakh shares, which is representing 8.17% of the total paid-up capital at Rs 1,000 per share. SRF says that the technical textile unit in Tamil Nadu has been damaged by Cyclone Gaja. The company stated that they have adequate insurance cover for the unit. Shalimar Paint proposes a rights issue of 3.4 crore shares at 65.5 per share and looks to raise 217 crores via the issue. Lots of bulk deals. Nomura acquired 70 lakh shares in Vikas Ecotech. The promoter Vikas Garg was the seller. Principal Global Investors sold in 27 lakh shares in Indiabulls Housing. Aranda Investment of Mauritius sold in 11 lakh shares in Info Edge. And Copthall Mauritius sold in 17 lakh shares in Mindtree. The Northern Multi-Manager Equity Market Fund bought in these shares from Copthall. And in Tejas Networks, Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund acquired 11 lakh shares in the company. So these are some of the important stocks that you need to watch out in trade today. But there's much more you need to know before trade actually starts. For that, log on to our website bloombergquint.com and click on the All You Need to Know tab and you'll be prepared for morning trade.
Thanks, Darshan. Well, that's all we have for you on this podcast, but there's a lot more on the website, especially that coverage that I mentioned of the RBI board meet. Do stay tuned. This is Bloomberg Quint, and I'm Alex Matthews signing off.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.